Dear Thally and your YouTube psychic. Card of the day. Readings. Unboxings. Your daily source for things arcane.
I know you're going to say, oh my god, another one. Yes, girl, there are a few more that we need to get through. We've got this one, which I had to break down to only 2 suspects because there was so much information. Again, with your trigger warning, you must understand that we will be talking about serial killers, murderers, and the like bad guys. So, if these things will bother you or trigger some unwanted memories or feelings, I suggest you skip this video. If not, enjoy. Declared clinically insane and incarcerated in 1883 for stabbing his wife to death, Kelly escaped from Broadmoor Asylum in 1888 before the Whitechapel murders began. Kelly had killed his wife due to a delusion that his wife was a prostitute who had given him venereal diseases. The truth, however, was that he had likely contracted the illness from Whitechapel and Spitalfield prostitutes that he visited before his marriage. Police did explore the possibility that Kelly carried out the Whitechapel killings and conducted a Metropolitan Police raid of his former home at 21 Cottage Lane the day after the murder of Mary and Kelly. However, there is no relation. Reports contend that after his escape from Broadmoor, however, Kelly first went to Liverpool, then traveled to France to hide out later that year, which would explain why the raid came up empty. Kelly also figures into theories that Jack the Ripper traveled to the United States and continued to murder women there. The 1891 murder of prostitute Carrie Brown at the East River Hotel in New York bore resemblance to the Whitechapel murders, and Kelly traveled to North America many times during his years on the lam. This suspicion, however, conflicts with evidence that Kelly did not book passage from England on a New York-bound steamer until 1892. Records show Kelly gave himself up as a fugitive in New Orleans in 1896 to the British consulate and was transported to England for arrest. However, authorities did not meet his ship right away to apprehend him, and Kelly began to wander again. He attempted to surrender in Vancouver, Canada again in 1901. When nobody took interest in his case, Kelly crisscrossed across the Atlantic several more times. In 1927, Kelly walked straight up to the gates of Broadmoor Asylum and asked to be committed. Having lived as a vagrant with paranoid schizophrenia for many years, he was in extremely poor physical condition. He died at Broadmoor 2 years later. Frederick Bailey Deming, a rugged sailor with a ginger-colored mustache, was responsible for the death of 2 wives, 4 children, and perhaps 5 Whitechapel women. The youngest of 7 children, Deming was born in 1853 in Merseyside. He was a sheltered boy and extremely close to his Sunday school teacher, mother. After she died in 1873, Deming took a job as a sailor and traveled to the furthest stretches of the British Empire. While in Calcutta, India, he contracted a brain fever, and acquaintances claimed he was never quite the same after that. He often suffered delusions, sometimes even claiming his mother's spirit was giving him instructions to commit strange acts, including violent ones. As Whitechapel had an active port, Deming was no stranger to the neighborhood. Some argue that Deming could not be Jack the Ripper, as he was in South Africa during the late summer and autumn of 1888. Others argue that he seems to have gone back to Birkenhead, England, during that period of time to get his wife Maria and children to settle there. When he returned from South Africa after serving prison time for bank fraud, it wasn't long before he started stepping out with another woman named Emily Mather. Soon after that, suspicious neighbors asked him why they had not seen Marie and his children lately. He made excuses and said that they had left town, and soon he and Emily did the same. Fred and Emily traveled to Australia, and not long after they arrived, Emily was killed. She was found with blunt force trauma to the head and a cut throat. After Fred was apprehended in Perth, news of the murder spread to England. A search was conducted on his Birkenhead home, revealing the dead bodies of his wife and 4 children beneath the kitchen floorboards. As details of his violent crimes were revealed to the public, quote-unquote, Mad Fred also earned the name of Jack the Ripper of the Southern Seas. From there, it wasn't long before rumors spread that he had confessed to the murder of Catherine Eddowes, though he and his lawyer later denied this. He did admit to contracting syphilis from a Whitechapel prostitute, swearing that he would have killed her if he had the chance. Fred Deming was tried in Melbourne for murdering his second wife. On the final day of the trial, he testified in his own defense, and a speech that gave way to a fit of rage in which he railed against the spectators and accused women of being spreaders of disease. He was executed by hanging on May 23, 1892. Now, was Deming Jack the Ripper? Perhaps. Was he a rage-filled killer who brutalized multiple innocent victims? Definitely. Now, during this whole thing, I've told you guys that these people, or these gentlemen, are innocent until proven guilty. Well, in most cases, they were guilty of something. Be it something as small and or as simple as, hiring prostitutes and or taking part in things with prostitutes. They also, most of them, had killed and or murdered, other people. So that's another reason why some of them were considered as suspects. Alright guys, so we've got one more video with 2 more suspects, and I do have something very interesting planned, but we'll see what you guys think of it first. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to my content and like this video. Want more? Feel free to order your own personal reading at www.tirthalion.com. That's tirthalion.com. Don't forget to click the bell icon so that you're notified every time I upload a video.